Alright, so we're just going to start off with a glue stick. This one is just from the dollar store. I think it was $1 for a pack of 4. I'm just focusing on flattening the hairs and getting them really smooth. This is just going to be the first layer because we'll do a few to get a really nice smooth surface, and that was cute. So now I'm taking a little spatula and I'm taking a bigger chunk and I'm going to try to spread that out. It'll be easier if you use smaller chunks, but I discovered that while I was doing this. So now I kind of broke up those chunks and I'm going to take the spatula and kind of smooth it all over and basically just try to fill in all the gaps of the brow hairs and get a really nice smooth area. So now I'm kind of removing all that, and then anything excess I'm going to use on the other brow. And you are going to want to let this dry in between each layer, and between each layer I'm also adding a layer of powder just to help it soak up anything else that was wet. So I'm using the e.l.f. HD setting powder, so it's relatively affordable. Now I'm taking a skin tone color and I'm just trying to cover up my eyebrows. You can try different things. I'm trying different things. Now I'm taking a foundation. I'm just trying to find what works best because this is the first time I've actually tried to cover my brows, so that was cute also. And again, I'm powdering in between each layer. Now I did another layer and you are all set for your date. No, I'm just kidding. So now I'm taking my Mayron Paradise paint and I'm just making my whole face completely white. I'm just saving my eye space because we will be using a primer later. So I'm just covering my whole face in a good layer. And I'm kind of holding the end of the brush and really flicking it so that I'm getting an even application. And now I'm going again with a white. I'm trying to cover the brows with a white. So you can make the face really even or you can make it really messy. If you want to go for Batman Joker clown, then you can totally do that. But I kind of was going for not too messy. So now I'm taking my favorite white pencil and I'm drawing out all the areas that I'm going to be adding different colors. So I'm going to have red brows or red nose and red lips and extend the lips. And then I'm going to have black eyes. So all those little details I'm going to be tracing out. And sorry about the lighting. I know it's really hard to film when it's white because, you know, the camera likes to brighten everything up. But you'll see these details better when I fill them in with the red or the black. And I think I'll get a close-up shot in here soon. But I do really like the white pencil because if you mess up, you can just blend it away with your finger, especially since the rest of your face is already white. So now I'm outlining my lips. I'm keeping them fairly small. And I'm going to be extending them. I'm going to extend it from the bottom lip just so it looks a little bit more natural to my own lip shape, but you can do whatever works best for you. And I do recommend using a reference photo. The reference photo I'm using, I just Googled clown mask on Google in the images, and you'll probably be able to find this exact one. Now I'm taking an eye primer. This is just my NYX one, and I'm spreading that all over the lid. And I'm going to do this before I outline the eye shape, just so I make sure everything is covered with a good layer of primer. You don't have to use primer if you want. If you want your eyes to look really messy and creasy, then you can totally skip out on the primer. So now I'm outlining the eyebrow, and then I'll be taking the eye sockets down from there because the eyebrow is pretty large in this look. So, and you'll see that easier when I add the black. So there's a close-up, kind of making an upside-down teardrop shape. Now I'm going back again with my white Paradise paint, and I'm avoiding all the spaces I carved out for the detailing, but I'm just adding another layer of white to give it a little bit more coverage so nothing is peeking through like my redness or acne, whatever. I just wanted a nice blank canvas. So now I'm kind of setting this with a white eyeshadow just to give a little more coverage and make sure any cream products or wet areas are all completely dry. Now I'm going in with my Paradise palette again, and I'm using the red shade. So now you can really see the areas that I carved out with the white pencil, and I'm just trying to make sure the shapes match up and everything. And again, use your reference photo. You can make any shapes you want. You could do triangles, stars, you know, any kind of shape you want. You can use these techniques. But I chose to go off the reference photo a little bit. And just take your time and get the right shape you want. And if you get the wrong shape like I kind of did, they didn't really match, it's pretty easy to fix. You can just make one a little bit bigger, a little bit longer, whatever you gotta do. Now for the nose, I'm kind of making a flower shape. So over the bridge I've making a curve, over each nostril I made a curve, and then down below I made a curve. So you'll be able to see that in a second, but it gives kind of a different look rather than just doing a regular old dog nose or just the tip of your nose. So I think it gives it a little bit more definition. So you can kind of see that flowery shape there. And I'm just trying to match up each nostril. Alright, onto the lips. I'm starting off with the top lip and I'm just carving out my normal lip shape. And then again, I think from the bottom I'll be extending it outwards, and you'll be able to see more clearly where I carved that out with the white pencil. So sorry that of course I covered it up a little bit, but you'll be able to see the majority of it. It's very nerve-wracking. That's why I was like, because I was literally holding my breath for those really fine lines, because they can be tricky. But the brush I have is really nice. It's from the art store. It's a nice flat edge, and I can get really nice even lines and thin lines with it, so you don't have to spend a ton of money. These are from Michael's. Now I'm taking the black and I'm outlining the eye sockets, and I'm going over a little bit to the brow too, just so it gives more of a look of a sunken in eye. And then I'm dragging it down, kind of like that upside down teardrop shape. I brought it down a little bit farther than I wanted to, but it ended up looking fine. So again, it's completely up to you. Your eyes could be triangles, your eyes could be stars, your eyes could be circles, whatever floats your boat. Now I'm taking a jumbo NYX pencil in Black Bean, and I'm just dotting it because I want a very light layer of this because I don't want a lot of creasing. If you want your eyes to look creasy, then do a heavy layer of this and don't set it with a powder. Because next I'm going to be setting it with a very black powder because I want my eyes to be very dark and black and almost non-existent. I want them to be very sunken in, but if you want them really nice and messily creasy, then just do the NYX pencil because it's kind of greasy. Not greasy, I'm sorry. It's a cream product, so it's going to crease. But if you want it like that, then just do the NYX pencil and don't set it. But I kind of like the clean black look. Now I'm taking a small detail brush and I'm attempting to create folds and lines in the face. If I were to redo this, I wouldn't use a powder in a brush. I would just use the liquid liner that I will be using later. But it looks kind of messy. It's almost reminiscent of the Batman Joker again. So I kind of like how it turned out. But if you wanted this more clean, you could even just keep your face completely white if you wanted to, and just shade around the edges and give yourself a little definition that way. But now I'm taking that liquid liner and defining those lines I made, so it's a little bit more clear to the viewer. And I like how it came out. But this is a really fine tip, so it worked really well for this. And I'm just blending them out with my finger a little bit if it needs it. Now I'm adding those circles. This is again completely optional. And I'm also shading the red a little bit with a deeper maroon and also a little bit of black, just to give it a little bit of definition. And I don't think I showed it, but I also added a little bit of black powder to the center of the lip, just to give a little more definition. And you can do your hair however you want. I just pinned it back and I'm taking a little bit of hair white. This is also from Mayron, and I'm just kind of putting it wherever. I was just kind of winging it at this point. And I took a brush and just spread that out a little bit. It was almost a little bit too Frankenstein-y for me, so next time I would probably skip this step, but it's completely up to you. I'm also adding some white to my ears because Clown's not going to be very scary with bright pink ears, and I also did my neck white, and I'm adding some definition to my neck too. Again, this is optional, and I didn't spend much time on this because it's not really the focus. So yeah, and right there I used a brush with red on it, so try not to do that. I was just adding some shading with black, and then I'm blending it in. Now I'm taking Rigid Collodion, I believe it's called, and I'm just adding this in a spot that I want it to look like a scar. So I'm adding it along the mouth. This actually didn't show up very well, so you can skip that, but I did add some along each cheek, and that came out pretty good. So the more layers you do, the thicker the wound or scar will be. Now I'm just taking a little bit of a lip pencil in light pink and adding a little bit of definition to that scar. You can see it more in person. And then next I'm going to be taking a little bit of a blush and adding a very light shading. But these are minor details. I like the face to be the main focus, so I'm not spending too much time on that. Now I'm just adding mascara just to cover up any powder on my lashes. Not really for mascara because you won't see that. And we're done. Alright, so here is the finished product. I'll insert a photo right now so you can see everything up close. If you wanted to make this look a little bit younger looking, I know it with the kind of wrinkles it makes it look kind of messy, kind of older looking, you can leave all that out and you can just do like the red detailing and then the eyes and just leave it at that because it looks pretty good. And you can just do like some shading around the edges, or if you want you can do full on just like I did. The little FX things are optional, like removing the eyebrows and adding the rigid collodion. So I feel like when I take this off it's gonna hurt honestly, and you can't really even tell that I added it here. You can only really tell right here, and I could probably add a little bit darker pink, but I didn't want it to take away from anything. So that does look pretty cool though. So completely optional. Making your neck white is completely optional too. I probably could have spent a little more time on that, but that's not the main focus. Your hair you can do literally however. I kind of like how it looks just having it up. I don't know. So totally play with it. I really enjoyed this. Honestly, I started this. It actually took me 2 hours. So I don't know how long this video is going to be. Thanks for sitting all the way through it. But it did take about 2 hours. I did kind of stop here and there to upload segments of clips. So obviously it would take you not as long, and you don't have to do everything I did. But definitely if you try it out, hashtag FierkyXEmily on Instagram so I can check it out, and follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my channel so you can see more videos, and give me a comment if you have any questions about products used, and give me a thumbs up if you liked it. So I'll see you later guys. Bye bye. Oh my god, this is scary. Oh, it's fun though. It's alright. Man, and I think having yellow teeth, like my teeth aren't that yellow, but having the red, this tone of red makes my teeth look really yellow. I think that makes it scarier, honestly. So, and if you do have this kit from Mayron, you can use the blood red. You put this on your teeth and it'll kind of look like you got bloody teeth. Let's try it. Let's try it. This stuff tastes like shit. Straight up, yes. But it smells like shit. I'm just gonna put a little, oh my god. No. Nope. Woo! That is, I like it. I don't want to swallow. I like how it looks. No. We're not gonna do that. Oh my god, that's scary. Motherfucker.